Everybody. So excited to have you here. Just wanted to go ahead and let you know we're just waiting 6 more minutes till we get started on our program, and we're just so excited because it sounds like we have everyone coming on from abroad, from Australia, and we have Sarah from Kenya. So I'm just really excited to have you here in community with me for Rise and Thrive 2020. So let's go ahead and just see who's here already. Let's see here. All right, we have Ashley Cole. Hey, Ashley. Hey, Emery. Hey, Leanne. Hi, Nicole. Hey, Sydney. So happy to have you all here. If you saw the lineup, we have an amazing talent that's going to be here to serve you and fill your cup today with personal development. So I'm going to go ahead and just sit tight for a moment until we get started. It looks like 5 more minutes till showtime. So just stay with us and we'll be able to have our first presenter come on board, and it's the Miss Yaman's going to be doing our mindful meditation. So I'll see you guys shortly. And if you have any questions, put it in the chat. We do have Mel. She's on the C team and is going to be able to help us with that as well, okay?
I mean, what I was worried about.
And they had to kind of reschedule whatever.
No problem. Hi, Nicole. Nicole is sharing her screen. She is our second speaker today, and we're just testing a few things, so bear with us. And yes, it is windy. I tried today just in the house, and so this is a learning opportunity for me, so bear with me, okay? I'm going to go ahead and put it on mute for now until we get started in 3 minutes. Hey, Lawrence, great to see you.
Hey, how you doing?
Guys, this is the Emery Lawrence. He's amazing. He's an actor. You're going to be so thrilled to see him live in his breakout table, okay? So take a look at that face. He's your only male in the room today, unless they're the only speaker there is. So thank you so much for joining us today. I'll be able to share more about you in a moment, and we're going to go ahead and get started with Miss Joni Ray, okay? So sit tight.
Thank you.
Go ahead and have Miss Joni Ray take the floor. You have a box there that shows to minimize your screen.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Kathy. Can you hear me okay? Hi, guys. I am so thrilled and honored to be here. This is so exciting. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I hope we are all just jazzed up and ready to go and get this party started. So let's just jump right in. So Kathy, can I get a thumbs up from you? Tech is good. We're all good. We're ready to rock and roll and get this show on the road. Everyone, just say it with me. Say it loud and proud. Say, I am powerful. I am worth it. I'm deserving. I'm capable.
Oh, I'm deserving. I'm capable.
Today's going to be a great day. Yes, I can, and yes, I will. So, guys, those are the mantras I say with my 9-year-old and my 5-year-old every single morning. And I'm just so honored to kick show off with our mantras, because you know what? Those mantras are really who we are, in essence, who we are. 2020 has been such how do you describe 2020? Such a blur. You know, people have told me, you know, they're cursing 2020. They like, oh my gosh, another death in the news, or a close someone we know, or just all of the feelings and the anxiety that comes with what has happened in 2020. And you know what? It's been a global impact. You are not the only one feeling it. We are all in this together. So the few minutes that we have together, guys, I'm just going to be honest, real, raw, authentic with you. And I'm just going to lay it all out on the table, because things have not been perfect. But you know what? Together we can take this as a learning moment and move forward in a brand new way. 2020 is what it is. It doesn't have to have any meaning attached to it. Yeah, there's been traumas, but let's talk about very specific things and tools that we can use, that we can do, that we can really kind of embrace what is left of 2020, so that we can create it with intentionality, with purpose, so that we can say, you know what, we have a say, we can control what it is that is next. Without really feeling like we're a feather in the wind. You know, when this all hit, there is so much going on in my business, and then poof, it was gone, right? Because a lot of my business is all in person. I'm the CEO of the Mindset Group. You can find me at yourmindsetisEverything.com, yourmindsetisEverything.com. And I was doing a lot of international travel. I planned a 3,000 person in-person conference, a leadership conference in Washington, D.C. All of that was just taken from me from COVID. And you know what? I'd be lying if I said that didn't impact me, because it definitely did. It knocked the wind out of me. But we all have our personal story. We all are on this personal journey. And that's not the end of our story. That's not the end of our journey. This thing that we all went through is not. So I do want to walk through just a few specific nuggets that I'm challenging you to take on, given all of the circumstances. I want you to really look at, what this year really means to you and how you can create it further. So let's take a few examples from a client of mine. She's a business owner, she's a mom, and she's got a lot going on. So that might sound like a lot of you, right? And you've got different hats, different roles. There are different things going on, sometimes all at the same time. We're so just pulled in different directions. And from working with this client, she had just such this toxic energy and relationship with her mom, with her mother. And you may or may not relate to that. It might be your mom, it might be your boss, it might be your kids, it might be another relative or someone else. But just think of that person that triggers you. They say the wrong thing, they do the wrong thing, and then you're like just off to the races in your head about like all the things that you want to tell them. So the work that I did with her is we really applied this saying that when you change the way you see things, the things you see will change. When you change the way you see things, the things you see will change. And that includes people. That includes the people who really trigger you. So instead of looking at this person as, oh my goodness, they are really getting on my last nerve, what can you do to start recreating that relationship? And that starts with recreating who they are for you. For me, it was my children. I was ready to just like throw these kids out, throw them out. They're just so annoying, so annoying. And I mean that with all the love in my heart, but oh my gosh, they were just getting too much. And I was calling them monsters. I said, these monsters, I can't believe these monsters. Well, these monsters turned into, and this is a term that I coined, love bugs. So not only did I change their name from monsters to love bugs, you're not going to believe this. I swear this is a real and true story. When I said, okay, they're not monsters, they are love bugs, I took them to an arts and crafts store, which is something I don't usually do anyway, because I'm just so busy. I'm like traveling, I'm doing my business. I don't have time for all of this. I took them to this arts and crafts store, and the art activity was to create love bugs. I kid you not. There were art supplies. There were all these things on the table for the kids to create love bugs. And it was just so awe-inspiring. And I had tears in my eyes. And I said, you know what? Whatever message the universe was giving me at the time to embrace my children in a way that was uplifting instead of just me being so annoyed. That was the moment that I really bought into this idea, like, wow, it really does work. It works when you create people the way that you want to see them. So just like we did with my client, that's what we did. So not only did we recreate her mom, we pulled that thread, we kept on going, and we just looked at the different relationships in her life. Who was holding her back? What kind of negative energy were they just giving to her in her everyday life? We redirected that. And then as a business owner, she was able to be there for her team in a brand new way, because before she was emotionally unavailable, unable to really pour into them, pour that love into them, that attention that they needed as her team. And as that mother hen, as that boss, she just couldn't do that before. So now that we were able to work on that relationship with her mom and all these other people in her life, we then pivoted her energy to her team and her business. So what did that look like? That looked like us getting feedback from the team and them really having the safe space and opportunity to voice what it is that was going on with them. So how many of you have so many things going on where you're managing different things, different people, different projects, and it's just so much going on, right? And what value would it be to you to get that input, get that support, and move from a place of I'm alone, I feel like I'm alone, to a place of, wow, I got this. And not only do I got this, I have a team that has my back. How do you gain that trust again? So you guys, I'm doing this at scale right now. I'm meeting with a company. Praise the Lord. I can't even believe I'm sharing this with you. I'm meeting with a company on Monday, a 200,000 person company, to talk about this issue exactly. How do we scale intimacy? How do we make people feel seen and heard? Because that's all people want. All people want is to feel acknowledged, like they matter, their voice matters, they're not just a number. So back to this example. So as this boss, she was able to see her team in a whole new way. So not only were we able to infuse that trust and really get everyone on the same page, they were able to recreate a future, co-create together. So we did things like recreate the mission statement. We had this team building session that was beyond everyone's wildest dreams of what could be possible, because we were able to uncover what was going on. All the unsaid things were out on the table. So back to this business owner, she was able to repair and really revive these relationships with these close people in her life, in her personal life. She was able to then transfer that energy to her team. Now, what does that even mean for you? Why am I telling you this story? I'm telling you this because you are managing so much. You're managing so much, and there's so many distractions. I'm talking social media, the notifications on your phone, the negative energy, the different meetings that are on your calendar that you don't even want on your calendar. There are all of these things that are sucking your life away. And my message to you is to let that stuff go. Let the distractions go. When you focus your energy, I just get this cringe feeling when I hear just focus. Well, that's impossible when you have so much going on. How do you focus? The answer is you focus by getting rid of the distractions. Get rid of those distractions. Make sure that you are going in a direction that is intentional, that is empowered by what it is that you want to create in the world. And then finally, that it's supported by the people who matter most to you. I mean, there's a time when my husband said to me, "Don't you care about this family? What are you doing? You are here, there, and everywhere. I don't feel supported. I feel like I'm doing this all on my own." Well, that was because I was letting the distractions run me, as opposed to letting myself run my own life. And from doing the inner work myself, I'm now able to coach people in a powerful way so that they can really get their lives back. Now, how many of us here listening, watching, feel like our life is kind of gotten away from us, that intentionality of creating our days in advance, of meditating and saying, this is how my day will go, declaring, this is my worth, this is how much I'm going to demand from not only the universe, but from this client. Speaking that truth of who it is that you are, who it is that you want to impact in the world. It really takes someone who doesn't have those distractions getting in the way. So I'm really empowering you guys to take 2020, take the reins, and say to yourself, I'm powerful, I'm strong, I'm worth it, I'm deserving, I'm capable. This is going to be a great year. I can reframe how I think about people, how I can think about people, and how I think about the year, how I think about anything. So I do want to close on this note. I want to close with this quote that is my favorite quote, and I say it all the time to clients and friends. It's people support what they create. Again, people support what they create. So as you're getting people part of the creative process, including your family, including your team, including your spouse, your significant other, as they get on board with what it is that you're creating, you're able to catapult yourself in a way where you're just not feeling alone anymore. You're on a path where you're supported. You're supported with all of the love, all of the positive energy that you deserve. So final thought is you're a holistic person. There's this personal side of you and the professional side of you. It's all intertwined. You're integrated. So when you work on one part of yourself, it's going to impact the others. Make sure you are doing those things. I'm Joni Ray, the Mindset Group. YourmindsetisEverything.com to get a hold of me. Kathy, thank you so much for giving me a chance to speak on your platform. I feel that went by really fast. That's how it occurred to me over here as a person talking. I just can't wait for what's next and to hear what this platform is going to create. So thank you. Thank you so much for the space.
That was so amazing, Dr. Joni. I just want to tell you, we are live on YouTube and we do have friends in Kenya. Sarah's in right now in the chat. So this is going global, everyone. So you are impacting so many lives and I honor you and thank you for sharing your story. Mwah! Okay, go ahead.
Love you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Joni. I'm going to go ahead and just intro our next speaker. If you're not speaking right now, please do minimize it off because when we go into the breakouts, we will turn that back on so we can do Q&A with all our amazing keynotes. So right now, I want to introduce you to an amazing, amazing woman. She is one of my mentors, Ms. Nicole Mashali. She is beautiful, she's dynamic, she is also a fantastic actress, internationally known. And go ahead, Nicole, take it away.
Hi, everyone. We get to sort of go with the flow, I think, with technology today. So let me know in the chat if you can hear me clearly. Just give me a thumbs up or yes, we can hear you. So like Kathy said, I am Nicole Mashali and I am a manifestation mentor. I had the privilege of working with Kathy as she took my course earlier this year. And first of all, I want to thank you, Kathy, for putting this on. I know in the midst of a global pandemic, on top of your work and family, Kathy's just an amazing woman that empowers so many in her community. So I wanted to thank you, Kathy, personally, and also to everyone that took time today on their Friday of all days and their lunch break to join us. So when Kathy first asked me to be part of the summit, I had a whole speech prepared about goal setting, taking risk, and manifesting your magic. And then she called me earlier this week and she said, you know, speak from your heart. What's on your heart? And I really had to think about it. And then I threw out my first speech. I deleted it and I wrote a completely new speech on a topic that was actually on my heart this week. And so what I want to share with you today for the next 10 to 12 minutes is how do you stand in your power and feel truly empowered when there are so many struggles and difficulties that lay before you? And I think we can all agree that 2020 has been sort of a marathon of adversity. I mean, as entrepreneurs, how do we continue to truly feel empowered and empower others in our community when there's a global pandemic? When we can't even connect with our friends and family in person, when maybe we are divided in our communities due to political opinions, when our communities are taking devastating hits because small businesses are shutting down due to the lockdowns and shelter in place, when our own businesses are in threat and we don't even know where our next paycheck is coming from, or when our goals that we wrote just in January are nowhere in sight because of this pandemic, because of what's going on in the world. And in a personal note, how do you feel empowered when your husband comes home with COVID and is infected and has to stay in bed for 3 weeks because he just doesn't have the energy and the ability to be healthy and go to work? What do you do when you lose your job? So these, I think, are all questions that we are facing right now in a very unusual time in 2020 when all of our worlds, and I think Joni spoke on this in her speech, are sort of shooken up, right? And so I'm going to be 100% honest with you, and this is why I changed my speech completely last night at 10 p.m. And I wanted to share and be vulnerable and say I was in that space just last week. I was feeling hopeless. I was emotionally spiraling into a dark place. My marriage was hitting a rough patch, as they say. My husband and I have been long distance since July. He's in New York and I'm here in California. I lost all of my creative gigs because I'm an actor and writer, and all the production studio houses were shut down due to COVID. And on top of it all, I was being negatively judged by family members for the choices I've made as being an entrepreneur and a creative artist rather than doing something safe. Like for Filipinos, it's being a nurse. Like that's the only acceptable career that we can have when you're Filipino. And choosing to have children later in life. You know, me and my husband have chosen to not have children just yet. We just got married 2 years ago, and there's a lot of family members who have negatively judged us, but me in particular, because I'm the female and the woman, that we have held off on having children. And so I was being called fake and selfish and narcissistic from my own family members. And that really got to my mental, emotional health. And I started to question my path, this path less traveled for an Asian woman. And so I got in a dark place, but I was able to lift myself out of that dark place. And I wanted to share with you all how I was able to do that and what was able to help me spiral up instead of down. And that was my purpose. So I believe that when you have intentions and purpose, those inspire you to manifest a life you love. And so that's what I wanted to talk about today, because despite all the terrible things that have happened in 2020, I think this year has actually given us a beautiful gift. This year has given us the gift of time for deep reflection and time to see past our goals and towards our purpose. And so I wanted to share my screen today. So I'm actually going to turn off my camera and share my screen. And one of the quotes that really stuck to me this week was, the two most important days in a person's life are the day you were born and the day you find out why you were born. And this was Mark Twain. And you know, I know our egos love goals. We love to check off that box when we accomplish something. And we love to base our happiness and success off whether or not we check off that box. But I feel like sometimes doing that can be very problematic. So instead of focusing just on our goals, I would like today, at least, I would like you to focus on your purpose and move out of a space of doing and instead be in a space of being. So I want to go through 3 things that your purpose will help you with. And one of those things is being an internal reminder. Think of it as your own internal Alexa, right? Alexa is always there to remind you of your daily schedule. And I feel like your purpose will be the driving factor that gets you out of self-doubt, that will get you out of scarcity mentality, that will get you out of even the circumstances, which are only temporary, that you're in, will get you out of negative judgments from those around you that are projecting their own fears onto you, and also will help you get out of your own fear. Your purpose will be a beautiful reminder to not give up hope, to continue to believe in yourself and your work. Because once your purpose is rooted in something bigger than yourself and you're truly, truly committed to it, I believe providence moves. And then your purpose will help you manifest some magical miracles in your life. This is what I tell my clients all the time. And I've seen huge, huge miracles manifest in all of my clients' lives. The second thing I think purpose does is it is our internal GPS, or I like to say goal positioning system. I'm just going to check and make sure you guys are all there. Okay, great. I believe that when you allow your purpose to be your compass when setting goals, you start to find clarity around your business decisions and even working with others, because your purpose guides you. Because if certain goals are not aligned with your purpose, guess what? They're not going to be necessary anymore. Even though our egos think they are, our purpose will help realign us. And if people that want to work with you aren't in alignment with your purpose, the universe will always find a way for you not to collaborate. Or you're going to have to learn it the hard way, like I've done a couple of times. And you know what? That's okay. Maybe we're not meant to work with everybody. And I feel like our job is to just work on our discernment, trusting in ourselves, and being rooted in our purpose. The third thing that I feel our purpose does is it acts as sort of a watch dialed into our truth. Because our purpose will help us stay present and allow us to appreciate our journey. There's this famous quote by Arthur Ashe that says, "Success is a journey and not a destination." And when you're living in your purpose, you're not always going to be focused on external outcomes that are destinations in the future, but you're already present because you're already doing it. You're being your purpose. Now, I understand that when most people think of success, they see it as you in the middle, like on the left, and then one part of your journey is failure and the other path is success. This is a famous meme that I constantly go to when I'm feeling self-doubt, because I'd rather choose to see success as actually the right side of this slide. Because in actuality, you often have to go through maybe a couple of failures or mistakes to reach your success, to reach your goal. But I would even take it a step further and say, every step of your journey is part of your success. Even being here today, listening to the speakers, spending your lunch break networking with folks who are like-minded, who are in this energy of success, even being here today is part of your success. And so sometimes people ask, well, how do I find my purpose? I have my goals. I think I know what I want in life, but how do I find my purpose? And I tell my clients all the time, take your goals, the ones you want to accomplish in life, and then dig deeper. Ask yourself, why do I want these goals? What is my deeper motivation? What is my truest intention? And then start from there. Start to uncover your why or your purpose. This is something I have all of my clients do in my course before we even start on doing vision boards and manifesting miracles in our lives. This is your blueprint to your purpose. For an example, when I started acting in high school as a teenager, my goal was to be famous and have lots of money. But as I soon moved to New York and then got deeper into my acting and studying my craft, I began to meet celebrities. I befriended some famous people in the industry, and through our relationships and just through my experience of watching their lives, I realized that money and fame actually don't equal happiness, joy, peace, or even fulfillment. And so as I matured, my intentions and purpose shifted. And today my purpose is to help heal people and create positive change in this world. Another thing I have my clients do is create an I am statement, because this is really important in finding your why. So after you write down your why and the deeper motivation behind your goals, I always tell my clients, circle 3 words from that writing that pop out at you, because those are your keys to finding your purpose and what you truly desire. And once you have those written out, it's not something you put in a drawer and you forget about. No, I want you to take that writing, your I am statement, and put it somewhere you see every day, whether that's your bathroom, maybe on your desktop, along your car mirror. I had a client that put her I am statement and her purpose on the roof of her car, because the only alone time she had was on her lunch break, and she was a nurse, and she would go in her car, put the chair back, and just read her I am statement and her intentions every day on her lunch break. This reminder will have all your thoughts, your actions, and choices start to align to your purpose. And I feel the most empowering way to start to rewire your subconscious mind towards best case scenario rather than worst case scenario is to read this every day. You know, when I chose to start shifting my perspective back to my purpose, just last week, I aligned back to the reasons why I chose this path less traveled. Writing a book about law of attraction that will speak to people of color that are healing their own hearts. Reasons like mindfully having children later in life when I know I can provide for them in a more mentally and emotionally healthy way. Reasons like producing movies and films that empower, inspire people of color and people of all walks of life. And most of all, my purpose of being a positive force to change the world. So, in 2020, how do you stay empowered in the face of adversity of global pandemic, civil unrest? Take the time you need to get rooted in your purpose. I want to end this speech or talk with a poem by Linda Ellis called The Dash. And it goes, I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came the date of birth and spoke the following date with tears. But then he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that they spent alive on earth. And now only those who love them know what that little line is worth. So your life is made of 2 dates and a dash. Make most of the dash. So
Oh, good.
I hope that was I hope some kind of nuggets came from opening up my heart and being a little bit vulnerable with all of you. And for those that are interested, is my call to action. I do an 8-week course that Kathy did, and I start a new session November 14th. So if you're interested, you can go to my table or just go to my website, manifestingmagic.vip, and I'll put it in the general chat as well. Thank you, Kathy. Thanks, everyone.
Whoa. Can I just say, I mean, yes, we have 19 people in this room right now, but we are broadcasted to Kenya, to Australia on YouTube Live. So if you are getting chills, I am, and I'm here at a rest stop because I didn't want distractions from my kids. But sorry about the wind. I'm going to go ahead and intro our next speaker. She is certified NLP coach. She's an amazing and beautiful fitness coach, and it's the one, the only, Miss Tina Kim. Woo! All right, Tina, go ahead and share your webcam. Turn that thing on. We know that you are beautiful and stunning inside and out, and we are so excited to have you speak on next. And guys, get ready, know her name because she just started an amazing course online on Facebook. And be sure because she is Coach Happy Tina, and right now she does do fitness training at 5 a.m. and so many people come out just for her class because she is a ray of sunshine. So go ahead, Tina. Let me see if I can get you on. If not, no worries, because we do have Miss Jody coming to you live from Australia to be able to fill your bucket too. So just one moment, guys. Take a quick break, maybe 2 minutes. Take a 2-minute break. How's that? Okay, guys, I just wanted to give you a quick intro about She Work Go See. This was a passion project turned business in little over 1 month. I started thinking about what I wanted for a legacy for my children, and it all surrounded about self-empowerment. So I am a team of one, but yesterday we just brought in one team member. Her name is Melanie. She goes by Mel. So if you see her in the chat, she's our new business development team member. So there's a team of 2 now in She Work Go See, and we're based in Orange County, specifically Brea, California. And I want to go ahead and just let you know, while Tina is jumping on, we are going to go ahead and fast forward to the one, the only Jody Dante. And I actually met Jody in the Brendan Burchard live event back this February. So pre-COVID, well, it was already happening, right? But in February, I met Miss Jody in one of the breakouts in Brendan Burchard's big event down in San Diego. And I'm born and raised in San Diego, so I was so excited to meet Jody. We instantly clicked. She has that magnetic heart. She is a coach, and guys, she is amazing. So talk about living with intention, living with gratitude, and she is all about the namaste. And Jody, take it away.
Namaste and good day from Australia. Can you give me an I can hear you in the chat box if you can hear me? Give me an I can hear you in the chat box if you can hear me right now. I want to make sure you're all awake, you're all alive, you're all here with me. I can hear you, I can hear you. Okay, wonderful. Great to hear from you, Renee and Ashley. So namaste and good day from Australia, the land of the kangaroos. I am here today to be able to speak with you, and I want to start off with a question. Have you ever remained silent when you could have spoken out? I remember when I got on a bus and the doors closed behind me. I walked on down the aisle, and the noise from the door was one of the last noises that I truly remember hearing. I walked down the aisle to the very back of the bus. Right? Have you ever gone onto a bus and you're trying to find the spot away from everybody else? I walked to the back and I tried to find a spot away from others. And I realized as I sat down that even though the bus was pretty full, there was silence. No one was speaking. And for me at that stage of my life, I was fine with that. I was totally fine with that silence. Why? Well, because I had remained silent a lot of my life. The reason I was on that bus is because I was on the way to school. And that day, my dad couldn't drive me there. Why? Well, unfortunately, my dad went through one of the worst depressive episodes that morning that I can ever imagine that he went through. It was so bad that he was laying in bed, looking up at the ceiling, repeating words to himself. I was going, Dad, 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 trying to talk to him. He couldn't see me, let alone hear me. To him, I was silent. I remember calling my mum, really freaked out. I was so scared, and I also hadn't been taught emotional skills, emotional intimacy skills, and I was scared of communication, especially on the phone, that I could barely explain to her what was happening. I pretty much felt like I was silent on the phone. But she gathered something was wrong, so she rushed home early from work. She told me to be a good girl and to take my little sister to school. My little sister's primary school was luckily only 10 minutes away. So I was a good girl and I walked my sister to school. I remember my sister was talking to me, asking me questions. What's happening to Dad? Why is this happening? And I was so ashamed that I didn't know how to answer that I just remained silent. Have you ever remained silent in your personal life or in your business when you knew you could have spoken out? I remember sitting on that bus, and not only had I had a really emotional morning, but I remember sitting there on the way to school where I knew my teachers were going to ask me, why are you late? Why did you miss the first few periods? And I would know that I wouldn't know how to answer that because I felt so much shame about what was happening that I would have just remained silent. I was on the way to school as well, where I was going to have to face my bullies. I went through racism and I went through bullying growing up. And I knew I was going to have to face my bullies that day. And there was no way I was going to speak up about what my rights or my boundaries are. There was no way, especially when I was that emotional. So I knew that I would just remain silent. Have you ever remained silent when you knew you could have spoken out? Well, actually, it's not surprising that so many of us are afraid to speak out, communicate, and to public speak. Well, why? Well, did you know that public speaking is the #1 fear in the world? Like legit, more people would rather be in a really small space, really high up with snakes and spiders or die than to public speak. Arachnophobia, claustrophobia, even death comes second and after our incredible fear around public speaking and communication. And this leads the question then once again to why. Why is this something that is so fearful in people? Well, there's 2 big reasons. Number 1, I want you all to pat your head like this. Everyone, just pat your head like this. Pat your head. Now, in your head, you have a sneaky little area called the amygdala. When the amygdala lights up, emotions take over, and you can go into that kind of fright, that flight, running away, or fight mode. You've heard of that before. When that takes over, and we haven't been taught the emotional intimacy skills in school or from our parents and our families, if we weren't taught these skills, when that amygdala lights up, it can shut down the front of our brain. Everyone go like this. I can see you. I can see you. Go like this. It literally shuts down the prefrontal cortex and frontal cortex of our brain, which means, have you ever done a speech or you're about to do a speech and then you've just completely forgotten all of the speech and all of the words? That's probably because literally part of your brain is shutting down. It's totally normal. And it's also one of the big reasons because we just aren't taught these skills. The second big reason that public speaking is the #1 fear in the world is because of childhood. Because of childhood. What were we told over and over and over again? Have a guess in the chat box. What were we told over and over and over again as children when we were wanting to take risks, but people were trying to keep us safe? What were we told? Give it a go. Give it a go in the chat box. What were we told as children? I want to say who's going to write some ideas here. You're not good enough. Really interesting. Yeah. You're not good enough. Don't do that. That's not safe. Right? And one big word that we are told, so be polite and speak when you're called only. No, don't do that. That's dangerous. Don't do that. From a young age, we were told, no, that's not safe. Don't do that. Don't take that risk, even though we are natural risk takers from childhood. So when we were told that over and over again, fear was put in our bodies around risk taking and especially around being seen. So I can guess that some of you in your life right now and in the past have remained silent when you could have spoken out. A public speaking challenge and a communication challenge is not a public speaking communication challenge. It's an emotional challenge. I'm very grateful that Kathy has created this event called Rise and Thrive. And I have to tell you, I remained silent way too much in my childhood. It is time that we rise from our silence and we allow our voices to be heard in our workplaces, in our businesses, and in our personal lives. You might be remaining silent because of, if you're in this space, you're an entrepreneur or you're a working professional, and you might be remaining silent because you're not posting on social media. You're not getting your message out there to the world that in the level you know you could. Maybe you're remaining silent in the workplace and you're not speaking out at meetings or talking about injustice or giving your feedback. Or maybe you're not saying yes to presentations because of that fear, because of that uncertainty, because of that insecurity. Maybe you're not working hard enough to get onto prospect calls with prospect clients to be able to serve them and get your product out there and make a difference. Maybe you're remaining silent in that way as well. Maybe you're remaining silent in your relationship. You're not sharing your needs and your boundaries in your relationship with your intimate loved one. Or maybe you are so afraid of being hurt because of being hurt in the past that you're not allowing yourself to speak out in welcoming a love into your life, that you're pushing everyone out. Maybe you're going through some challenges right now in your life, whether that's emotionally or practically in your business or in your professional life, and you're not reaching out to your family and friends. You're remaining silent instead of reaching out and asking for what you need. We are all guilty of this. And there are 4 big ideas I want to share with you that changed everything for me. It transformed me from being that silent, lonely, upset girl on the bus to a person who I'm very grateful that, having lived into these 4 big ideas I'm about to share with you, I was able to become the impromptu speaking champion of Australia. I was able to do a TEDx talk in Nepal, talking about my non-for-profit charity efforts in Nepal. I was able to win the Women's Federation for World Peace speech contest in the UK. And then I got the opportunity to speak in front of members of the UN and even the EU, UK, and Australian parliaments. I'm grateful that because of these 4 things, I was able to turn my speaking and coaching platform from a hobby into a 6-figure business within 15 months. And not only that, being able to impact thousands of entrepreneurs and professionals just like you from around the world who have challenges with understanding emotional intimacy or challenges with public speaking communication or just knowing what you stand for. And that's all because of these 4 big ideas. So everyone, get a piece of paper out, get a pen if you haven't already, because I'm going to share these 4 big ideas for you. Are you ready? Give me an I'm ready in the chat box if you're ready. Give me an I'm ready in the chat box if you're ready to gain these 4 big ideas and not only transform my life, but I've transformed thousands of people's lives I've been able to help globally. Yes, we're ready. Good, good, good. Everyone's ready. Loving it, loving it. Here we go. Big idea number 1. The big idea number 1 is to know your values. To know your values. But what are values? You might have heard of them, but what are they? Your values are the bones that are holding you and your work together. Without your values, it is a challenge to stand tall with confidence and with resilience. Your values become not only the benchmarks of excellence for yourself, but your values become the foundation of confidence and vitality. Your values become everything that you represent. If you don't wake up every morning and you know your values off the top of your head, such as your interaction values, your action values, your decision-making values, your community or business values, if you don't have them super clear and you're consciously living into them every day, you're holding back in some way from speaking out in your business or in your personal life. So I invite you to know your values. And for me personally, I chose 3 action values of being brave, vulnerable, and kind. And I couldn't let my fears and anxieties hold me back from speaking out to people anymore. So being brave, being vulnerable, being kind changed my life. And I invite you to live into your values and have your values as your benchmarks to lift you from fear, to lift you from your insecurities so you can truly be heard out there and make a difference. Big idea number 2. I trust you with me. I can speak quite fast. Big idea number 2 is that it's not about you. What do you mean? I remember when I was going through one of the most insecure moments, my mum said to me, the whole world doesn't evolve around you, Jody. A lot of people don't even know that you're going through this thing or that you had that insecurity. They have other stuff to worry about. I remember being super offended when she first told me the world didn't evolve around me. And I was like, I don't think the world evolves around me. But what she meant was that we're all, each of us, focused on our own stuff. And to be honest, a lot of the time people don't even notice what's going on in our world. So what we need to keep in mind is that life is not about just focusing on our insecurities and our fear. When we're in our businesses, it's about the other person. It's about supporting. What does that mean? It doesn't mean don't have self-love and self-care. That's awesome. That's amazing. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you are showing up for other people. For example, if you're doing a presentation and you're scared and you're overwhelmed with anxiety, remember the presentation that you're doing, it's not about you. It's not about how good your hair is that day or about how you walk on stage or about how you're communicating specifically to what you think is your truth. That's important, yes. But in the moment, the presentation is about who? It's about the other people that you're serving. If you get out of your head and you focus purely on the people in front of you, just adding as much value as you can, they're going to love it way more. And then you're going to feel better and your confidence is going to grow and you're going to want to do more presentations and it's just going to be awesome. So this number one big idea has changed so many people's lives, including mine. So get out of your head. No, it's not about you. Your mission, your message, that presentation at work, your social media post, your love with that person, that step you want to take to share your love with someone, telling your kids you love them, even though you weren't told that as a child growing up and it's hard for you to say those words. It's not about you. Your fears and anxieties are less than the amount of contribution you can give to the other people. So make it about them. Have a contribution mindset. Third big idea is what we weren't taught in schools at all. Have emotional intimacy. Unfortunately, we weren't taught how to have emotional intimacy growing up. And emotional intimacy means being able to be with your emotions and be okay with your emotional world. Some of you have pushed your emotions away for so long that you don't even know if you have access to them fully. And some of you doubt that you're able to be there for other people through emotional turmoils. Emotion is so important, and we are emotional beings. So around emotional intimacy, the first thing I want to share with you is there are no good or bad emotions. I want you to write that down. There are no good or bad emotions. There are no good or bad emotions. There's only resourceful and unresourceful ways that we react to our emotions, but there's no good or bad emotions. You can feel angry. You can feel sad. You can feel jealousy. You can feel guilt. You can feel any emotion that you feel in your body, and it's okay. It's normal. It's human. We are emotional beings. So the first thing I want you to do is to become intimate with your emotions, accept them as what they are. Don't try to numb them, push them away by focusing on the external. If you feel emotion come up, sit with yourself. I'll let yourself feel that. Okay, it's so important because if we don't, that emotion gets stored in our body and it only leads to greater fears and anxieties in our life. So it's really important to feel our emotions. So the third big idea is have emotional intimacy. And the fourth big idea I want to share with you right now, make sure you're awake still, you're here with me, okay? The fourth big idea I want to share with you is a question. Whenever you notice yourself holding back, whenever you notice yourself holding back personally or professionally, ask yourself this question. What will it cost me if I don't? And finish that sentence. Take that action. Do that thing. What will it cost me? What will it cost you if you don't step up in the workplace and get that promotion to support your family? What will it cost you if you don't get your message out in the world and you're stuck in a job you don't like instead of building your dream? What will it cost you if you don't allow yourself to speak your truth, share your boundaries, and say no? It could cost you your whole entire life. What could it cost you if you don't allow yourself to be vulnerable and tell somebody that you love them, even though you're scared of what they're going to say? It can cost you everything that you want in your life. What's it going to cost you if you don't take that action that makes you nervous? When we know the cost is greater than our temporary fear and anxiety in that moment, you're more likely to do it and to overcome that challenge. Who's getting this? Give me a double hand wiggle if you're getting it. Put a wiggle in the chat box if that makes sense to you. A double hand wiggle. Give me a wiggle in the chat box if you're feeling this. The first big idea, make sure you know your values. The second big idea, enable yourself to know it's not about you. You will grow. You will earn so much more money. You will make more impact if you make it about other people. On that sales call, make it about them, how you can help them. The third big idea is to make sure that you have emotional intimacy skills. And the fourth big idea is to ask yourself, what's it going to cost me if I don't? I trust these four big ideas are going to serve you, because I know they will if you allow them to, as much as they've transformed my life and other people's lives that I've helped globally as well. And what I want to do, because you've shown up in this conference, Rise and Thrive, for 5 of you, I want to gift you 45 minutes of my time to support you with a clarity breakthrough call. Okay, so the first 5 people who email me at namaste@jodydonsha.com, the first 5 people, I want to gift you a clarity breakthrough call with me. And what we're going to do is we're going to unpack your biggest challenges right now, okay, personally and professionally. I'm going to invite in vulnerability. We're then going to dream big and create what is your dream goal list. What are the things you want to achieve when you overcome these challenges? And the call is I'll give you an action plan about how you're able to overcome those challenges and reach those goals. I'm happy to give 5 of you that gift because I know you've shown up for you today to thrive, to rise and thrive. So everyone, it's time to no longer remain in silence. Let's speak out. Let's get your voice heard. Let's allow you to live the life you want to live. And I want to end with the words of Seneca. We suffer more often in imagination than we do in reality. We suffer more often in imagination than we do in reality. No longer suffer in your imagination. If you're undergoing practical challenges in your business or the workplace, or emotional challenges, or any challenge at all, reach out to people who can support you. No longer remain silent, suffer in silence, but to speak out and let your voice rise and thrive. Thank you so much, everyone. And remember to be brave, be vulnerable, and be kind. And I look forward to speaking and supporting 5 of you. Thank you so much, everyone. Mwah. You're most welcome.
Whoa. Oh my gosh. Jody, thank you so much. And again, we did meet by chance in San Diego in February. So thank you so much for sharing your down those 4 things. And it's true, as a always a learner in life. Thank you so much for taking the time to wake up early from Australia to just be here with us. And I honor you for that. Thank you. So next up, we do have Miss Tina Kim. So Tina, go ahead and hop on with your webcam. We're excited to see you. And just so you know, everyone, yes, this is a free event and we are excited to have you. We do plan to have these yearly. And as you think about how this Self-Empowerment Summit has impacted you, just think about all the people that served you today. They all did it out of their own kind will. We didn't exchange any money. It's just time and love and support. So you are being held right now in community for this virtual summit, and we're just so excited to have you. Oh my gosh, guys, are you ready for Miss Tina Kim? She's going to crush it because she's beautiful and amazing inside and out. Tina, take it away.
Can you guys hear me? All righty. Have to love and not love technology. I am. And if you guys can send me a message, let me know that you can hear me. Yes, everybody. Let me see, make sure. Okay, I am traveling at the moment. And I am in Arizona. I live in California. And I was given this opportunity by the amazing Kathy, and I was able to listen in on all the previous wonderful and amazing women. Thank you so much, Jody, Joni, and Nicole. I loved listening to everything that you shared. My name is Tina. I am a friend of Kathy's. We've known each other for a number of years. And the whole thrive, those are 2 words that did not exist in my vocabulary for almost 40 years. I did not understand and have an understanding of those two words because for almost 40 years, I was only in survival. I was surviving to live this life. And today I'm super excited to share with you my own story because each of us has a story. And it's about our story. It's the stories that we live with that really helps us navigate who we are and who we need to be. So with that, I'm just gonna go ahead and get all of my notes situated because again, I'm out standing here in a parking lot. But I wanted to ask each and every one of you, have you, hold on one sec, I apologize. All of my browsers are popping up. Can you hear me still? Okay. So I wanted to ask you, have you ever fell in love with someone so much that you would do anything for that person? The love so deep that every day you're in search of how can you make that person just genuinely happy? For me, I was in search of this person my entire life. And 2 years ago, I was finally able to find that person. And that person is actually the woman that's standing in front of you out in this parking lot in Arizona. I was the eldest child of my family. We were an immigrant family, and I grew up with challenges of being different within my family, but also being different from my own peers. There were many moments in my life that caused feelings of lack, not feeling that I was enough, unworthy of love from others. And this lack that I felt started just coming into my entire life in the way that I behaved and the ways that I did not behave that suited a greater purpose. And I was continuously seeking love and attention because again, I don't know if you guys feel the same way as I do. But when you feel like you're not enough, whether it's smart enough, pretty enough, good enough, whatever it is that you don't feel like you're enough, we tend to seek things to fulfill those needs that we do not have. And for me, not feeling like I was enough, I felt like I didn't deserve anything. And I was seeking this love and significance from others. I was what you call a people pleaser. If you did not like me, if you did not love me, I was devastated. How can I get you to love me and like me? And that was my whole purpose of my childhood, my adolescence, and even into my adult years. And as time grew on, I graduated high school, moved on into college. As soon as I got into college, I fell into, a deep, dark hole of chaos, I guess you want to say. I started partying and drinking, smoking, and the occasional drugs. And I went from this child that was a model, perfect, semi-perfect child that did not cause my parents any grief. I did not get any trouble with school teachers. I was one of the, model students. And I went from this, epitome of what a good child and student was to now falling into this deep, dark hole of chaos. And again, all of the behaviors that came with it. And this was just my way of just giving up. I didn't see any purpose. I didn't see my life going anywhere. The things that I was looking for was just impossible to get. And fast forward, when I was in my early 20s, I finally met someone. I met a man who said he loved me And that was music to my ears. It was, wow, my wish is finally coming true. My wish of wanting someone to love me, a man, to love me and marry me, for me to finally have a family, children of my own, children who would love me unconditionally, regardless of who I was. I was going to be their mother. And that was my dream come true. But that relationship was diseased from the start. I literally ignored all the red flags that clearly showed up and that showed me that if I continued with this marriage, this relationship, I was destined for pain and agony. So I did get married 1 year into meeting this man. We got married, we got pregnant, and 6 months after the marriage, we had our first child. Year after year, for 16 years, it was surviving. I was nowhere close to thriving. The things that I thought I wished for was not even close. The emotional scars, along with the physical scars, continued to show up. And the love that I was wishing and hoping for disappeared slowly. The physical bruises, honestly, those came and went. Those disappeared. But the mental and emotional bruises never seemed to go away. And they only deepened further into my soul. The feelings of unworthiness, loneliness, and despair took over me. And it felt like that was who I was. Physically, throughout time, I would only get more anxious, have more panic, and rage. If you ask my children now, they said that I was what you call a tiger mom. I probably traumatized my children because of the things that I did not control early on. But I know that's their story. So fast forward into the relationship, about 13 years into the relationship, I started surrounding myself around positive people, like Kathy is who I started surrounding myself with. And with this tribe of amazing and powerful and beautiful souls, they really inspired me to dream bigger than I had ever done before. I didn't know there was more than just the life that I was living. And I knew at that time that I deserved more. It took me 3 years to keep growing in this beautiful, positive environment. That 3 years, it took me 3 years to finally decide to make my move. And I decided to leave. So the marriage was over. And we knew that the marriage was basically on its last breath and it had run its course. And when I told him that I was leaving, there was no rage. There was no explosive fights. It was just a very calm understanding that we were done, that I was done. The strength in me and the strength that from my friends and the people around me carried me so that I can leave. But the problem is this. Though I left and though I had the strength to leave, as I now navigate into this new chapter of my life, I didn't understand who I was. I knew that I wanted more and I knew I deserved more. And I knew how to navigate into this new chapter of my life with my children as a single mom. But the problem was this, is that I fell back into my old behaviors of seeking significance and love through others. And I would find myself meeting person after person, looking for their validation, their recognition in order for me to feel fulfilled. And then there was at that final end, I started reflecting. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? And I decided to just, for whatever reason, something spoke to me. It might have been that little voice in my head that usually tells me otherwise and is more negative than positive. But I started listening to this now kinder, more gentle voice. And I listened to that voice, I listened to my heart. And I decided to allow myself to do things that I would never have thought to do before. The first thing, and I think was the most biggest moment of my life, it might seem very trivial to some, but it was a moment of awe. It was a photo shoot that I decided to do. And it was the first time that I did something without second guessing, without hating the way that I looked, without wondering what other people are going to think. And I took this leap and booked a session. And that day still lives with me today. It was 2 years ago. To see myself in a different way. It's like when you meet someone and you just know that this person is the love of your life. That was that moment for me. When I was standing in the water with the sand between my toes and the cool, crisp ocean breeze just blowing in my hair. I can feel my hair caressing my face and the water just all around me. It was as if this new life and this new energy was flowing throughout my entire body. I had this new sense of energy, of love. And so once I was able to do that, this love affair started. I started to do things for myself. And I continued with this love affair. Now, why am I sharing this with you? Because for me, I believe that when you love yourself first, that everything that you're looking for in your life, you can achieve it. So I was finally able to see the beauty who I was through all of my imperfections, and the excitement of this romance just keeps me going. So if you are right now are still trying to start your own love affair with yourself, I know you can achieve that just like I have. The first thing that you need to do is remove any and all weeds of your life and your mind. Just like a beautiful garden that continues to blossom, surround yourself in people and things that's really going to allow you and challenge you to grow. After that, you'll need to start listening to your heart. Sit in stillness. Enjoy the solace and learn who you are, what you enjoy, and what makes your heart flutter. For 2 years now, for the first time, I'm going on my own vacation without anybody else. I'm taking myself out to dinner. I'm taking walks and not thinking about anything, about anybody, and only enjoying the beauty of my life as I have it today. Once you can do that, then I know that you can do the things that make you feel alive. Just know that, like all other relationships, you need to do the things and you need to do the work to make sure that it continues to be filled with passion, unconditional love, compassion, and understanding. So with that said, my hope is that each and every one of you learns to achieve this love, the love that you have for yourself will give you that freedom, will give you the inspiration. But you need to step into the person that you were destined to be. Become the person that who you want by first accepting who you are in all of your greatness, in all of your beauty, in all of your imperfections, and embrace your story. I know from one of our other speakers, she said this: the two most important times of a person's life is, again, when you were born, and the second is when you found out why. And I am truly grateful to have found the reason why I was born. And if I was able to help anybody to start thinking about how you can start your own love affair, I would love to hear your stories. And if you feel like you want to tell me and share with me your story, or if you don't know where to start, please let me know. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Happy Coach Tina. You can also find me at Evo Health Studio, both Facebook and Instagram. And it is my honor to continue to show you and the rest of the world that once we can start with our own love, with our own self, that you can do anything. You can't expect others to love you until you can love yourself and accept yourself. So let's start loving ourselves and be all that we are and more. Thank you. Thank you, Kathy. I love you so much.
Yeah, you are incredible. Thank you so much for being so vulnerable and sharing your story and your heart. I mean, what it means to be an entrepreneur, handling in Arizona, that's amazing. You are amazing. Thank you. I honor you for you and your struggle and sharing who you are and having your team support you here today. And I want to go ahead and let you know, we're going to change things up a little bit. We're going to go ahead and bring on our breakout table speakers to the main stage, because why not? I think we're going to go ahead and have more impact. Fill your cup today, and I'll bring each one for 5 minutes, one by one. So if you need to grab a cup of coffee, take a lunch break, grab your food, we're going to just keep pouring into you, and we are having an amazing event. So let's go ahead and pull in the amazing, the one and only Marilee Blair. If you've been thinking about doing a podcast, she is amazing. She's the CEO of Design Your Happiness. So Marilee, come on in. All right, everyone, as we're waiting for Miss Marilee, I'm going to go ahead and bring in the one and only Emery Lawrence. So Emery, come on in. If you are there and available, turn on your webcam, and so we can go ahead and hear your story, why you do what you do, and just give everyone some inspiration on this amazing Friday. So I'll go ahead and you guys can take it away. So bear with us.
So I'm good. Just okay. All right, cool. Well, hey everybody. I am very appreciative of being a part of this event, and yeah, appreciative to be the only male. Well, just brief history. I am ex coworker of Kathy's. We both used to work at Xerox about 6-7 years ago, but it's just funny how time goes and those connections that you make with genuine people like Kathy just always thrive and they always come back to the surface out of nowhere. So I'm very appreciative of being a part of this conference, and I'm very moved by everyone's story that has shared and just a piece or their advice and their experience to getting to where they are now. And it's definitely small gems that I will take with me, along the way as I continue to keep going. But I guess one thing that I just wanted to touch on initially on why I am where I am, and it's just a quote that I came up with, which is, comparison is the number one killer of your dreams. So that rings very heavy to me, because we live in a world where media thrives, media runs everything, and media forces you to kind of compete with people that you don't even know, and desire things that you might not even want to achieve in your own life. And that speaks volumes to me, because in the industry that I'm in, I'm an actor, a film actor. So I am naturally in the performance business. So it's always me compared to someone else, or what they bring to the table. How can I match that? But I think what has helped me along this journey, and the journey is the best part, I'm sure you all know, but the journey is, understanding who I am, the best version of myself. And that right there is what has kept me going, is just wanting to evolve and be a better version of myself. So whether it's a better version on screen, whether it's a better version in the real world as a mentor to young boys and men from fatherless homes, I feel the need, and that's my responsibility and my purpose, to shine bright, let God's light shine through me. And that is what people look for in other people, because God gives us a lot of messages through other people that are meant specifically for us. So a little bit about me. From Detroit, born and raised. I, pretty much came up inner city, and a lot of adversity initially, just growing up as a Black male. And there were a lot of odds that I overcame, and that was just from the driven work ethic of a single mother. So I come from a fatherless home. I didn't meet my father until I was 13. And from that point on, I think we had only had contact for about 2 years after that, until I was about 15. And then we pretty much, I just moved forward with my life. I understood that he wasn't coming back for me. His purpose in my life was served by creating me, and that's about it. And that right there was the motivating factor. It wasn't to prove him wrong on what he missed in my life, but it was more so, I guess, showing myself that we're all born, solo. We don't, unless you have a twin or an actual sibling that you were in the womb with, we come to this earth, by ourselves. And we're here to complete a mission that has been given to us specifically by God. So moving forward, I just continue to persevere. Got great grades in high school, college, all that stuff. Undergrad, went to Michigan State. If there's any Spartans in the room, hey, go green, go white. And from that point, I think I reached a moment where I didn't necessarily know what I wanted to do with my life. So I made a decision. And out of college, I made a decision to move to New York. I was always told I should model. So I pursued modeling, even though I don't think I was that good at it. And I definitely don't have the facial expressions that models make, or I don't know. I think my personality is a little more on the sillier side. So being serious in a bunch of clothes that I don't care about just didn't really move me. But from that point on, I realized that I had a story to tell and I had experiences to share. And every experience that I've gone through is for somebody else to go through their own experience as well. So I took that responsibility very seriously. And here I am, independent film actor, and international commercials, different national commercials. And I feel that all it took was making a decision to say, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus on this. I'm going to get better every day. And I'm going to stick to the script and be my best version, instead of how can I be just like Will Smith? Nah, how can I be like Denzel? Not at all. how can I be the best Emory is what I focus on. And I think that's what's helped me. And the major key component is just not quitting. So it's all about starting. That's the hardest part, to start. Actually get started on something that you're passionate about and move forward. Whether it's an inch daily, you're still moving forward. This isn't a race. So there's nobody that actually gets to a point that says, I have completed my life's purpose. I can die now. No, nobody wants to die without actually serving a purpose and changing and moving lives forward. So that for me is, I guess, my key factor, the X factor is just not giving up and staying true to yourself and not comparing yourself to others. And again, my name is Emory Lawrence, and I am a film actor. You can keep up with some of the stuff I do with the young boys at Emory_Law on Instagram and just Emory Lawrence on Facebook. I'm not really good at Facebook or Instagram. I hate social media, but I have to do it. And I just want to end with saying I believe in everybody, and everybody's here for a reason on this call. And I feel empowered by everyone. And just the energy alone from Kathy has been always just that pretty dope and very transparent and very genuine. And I'm very appreciative of it. So thank you, Kathy.
But guys, wasn't that amazing? I said, oh my gosh, if everyone could just take the stage right now for 5 minutes, more impactful than running around in a table. And you are amazing. I mean, as a mom, seeing you thrive, it just warms my heart, because I literally found you on Instagram and I said, I need someone like you. And then you said, I'm there. And I had not talked to you for like 7 years,
Right.
guys. And that's the beauty of friendship, but no connection.
Yeah.
And I'm the biggest connector. And I think that when you create these relationships in your life and it comes up timely, right? Like attracts like. And what I love about you is that you showed up for you. It's not for me, it's for service and serving others. And when you talked about the comparison game, believe it or not, when you are in life, you're constantly comparing yourself, whether it's you from yesterday, you with other salespeople, with you and other actors and actresses. It's so important to be mindful of that. But thank you for sharing your heart. I honor you. You are amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and have the amazing Marilee Blair. She's tuning in live from San Diego. Emery was tuning live from Detroit. Guys, we are all over international. But Marilee, you know what? I am so excited to have you. I just found out that Miss Sarah in Kenya is going to hop out, but I wanted her to just share her love really quick for 5 minutes. Is it okay if you sit tight for a moment?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, perfect. We're going to just flow with it. So Miss Sarah in Kenya, if you would be so kind to just hop on live now, I would love to be able to see if you are still here. If not, no worries. We are flowing right now and we are going to just roll with it. Let's see here. Let's see here, Miss Sarah. Yeah, she is here. Amazing. Yes. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and have Miss Sarah on. So let's see here if I can pull her in now. Perfect. So Sarah, go ahead and turn on your webcam. And we are going to be delighted to have you. Wonderful. This is amazing. This is amazing. Okay. Take it away.
Hi, everyone. This is Sarah. I'm a digital marketing strategist, and I met Kathy a few weeks ago at Mani's event, and I thought she was amazing. And she invited me to this amazing event, and I'm so happy to be here. I'm supposed to hop into another meeting in the next 5 minutes, but what I want to share more is about consistency. I'm a social media expert, I'm a digital marketing expert, and I want to talk to coaches because most of my clients are coaches, and I want to talk about consistency. So, what is consistency? It's stability, it is steadiness. So, I've noticed with so many of my clients that we work Sorry for that. We work for a month or two and they want to give up. Especially on social media, they want to give up on putting themselves out there. But I'm here to tell you that to talk more about consistency. For me, consistency is about caring. I see so many people out there, mostly coaches on social media, because I'm mostly on social media, and I see a lot of hi, I'm selling this, I'm selling that, I have this free thing, I have this, and I have that, and I feel it's really we are really bombarding people with messages telling them about what we want and not about what they want, or listening to them. Get to know more about this person before you start selling anything. So when you think about consistency, think about caring. Think about how you're going to show up for this person, how you're going to show them that you really mind about what they're talking about. Because that's one thing I decided when Kathy is going to invite me to this event, I'm going to talk more about consistency. And because most people here are coaches, I had this a mindset coach, and there are life coaches I know, and these are the things I see, and I feel like I will speak about them and I will talk about them because they really, really affect how we sell, how we show up out there to our clients or to those people who would love or would like to buy our services. So another point would be don't put yourself in a box. I see so many things that are cliche, um, people showing up, but it's like they're copying. But I feel like authenticity really works well with every single person. Be authentic, be yourself, be human. So don't put yourself in a box. Be you. Present yourself as who you are, because your client is not everybody. The people you want to speak to, like Kathy or any other person, like all the amazing coaches I had speak today. You have that specific audience. So not everybody is your audience. And I can say the other point would be whether it's working or not, show up nevertheless. Show up nevertheless. Be consistent. Show up whether people are listening or not. I have had so many days I put myself out there and you feel like people are not listening. You feel like people are not seeing what you're doing. So people are not reading your content. Don't worry, just put yourself out there. One day, one time, with the power of God and consistency, stability, you will get the right person to listen to you. So the other point is build momentum. This is something I was listening to this morning, and I got so inspired that when a car stalls, and the first thing would be get out of the car and raise your hand and maybe wait for somebody to um, help you push the car or help you with get to the next gas station. But the other thing you can do is put your arm inside and try and push the car. And as you push, it gains momentum. As you push, and this I am saying, I'm trying to relate it to businesses. And when you just don't wait on people, you just do your thing, you build momentum, you put yourself out there, you will get whatever you want. So build momentum, be the best you want to be out there. put the best version of yourself. And I believe that will show up well for you and for your business. So let me just finish up because I think I'm done. 5 minutes is over. By saying this amazing quote from Tony Robbins, and it says, "It's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives; it's what we do consistently." So it's not what you do once in a while; it's what you do consistently. So keep doing your thing, keep showing up, keep waking very early in the morning. So thank you so much, Kathy. Thank you for the amazing comments. And the other one, let me just put one more quote. And the next one is, "A little effort every day would lead to consistency, and a little consistency every day would lead to mastery." So thank you so much, Kathy. I have to go for my meeting, and um,
Thank
have
you,
a
Sarah.
blessed time.
Have a blessed day. Thank you for tuning in live from Nairobi, Kenya. We care about you. We honor you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
It's so amazing. I can tell you this. We're international, everyone. This is the beautiful thing about, just internet right now and being in community with everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in Miss Marilee Blair. Looks like we have her back live. Hey, Miss Marilee.
Hi, everyone. I'm Marilee Blair. I'm the CEO and founder of the Design Your Happiness podcast. I decided to start the Design Your Happiness podcast because I'm a very positive person and I wanted to create something to help people feel inspired, connected, uplifted, and that they can live the life of their dreams and they can have happiness in their life. And so that's why it's called Design Your Happiness, so they know that they can design their happiness every day of their life. A little bit of my background: I used to be in media. I worked here with 10 News in San Diego. I was a sports reporter, news reporter for Palomar College's live television show, and I had missed being part of media. I've been a freelance event planner for the last 10 years. So back when the pandemic happened, I lost my job, and my husband and I had to postpone our big dream wedding. A lot of these things just kind of happened, and I was like, okay, now's the opportunity, Marilee. Like, why don't you create a podcast? Why don't you do something instead of focusing on feeling sadness of what you've lost? Accept what's happened and figure out how to move forward and use what's happened to inspire other people and get back into media. So that's how I created the Design Your Happiness podcast. I've also had people tell me for years, Marilee, I wish I just had you in my pocket to just give me a quick pep talk of positive inspiration. And so I just felt like this was the best way that not only could I help my friends, but I could help people all over the world to help them know that they can find happiness too, and that they're not alone during this time in the pandemic and anywhere in the future, because I plan to do this forever. So, and I also bring on different people from all over the world so that people can learn from other people how they've found happiness in their lives, and to learn about different industries and learn about different knowledge, because knowledge is really important right now, especially free knowledge. And that's what I'm providing. So the Design Your Happiness podcast has just really bloomed because now I have people telling me all over the world how much it's helped them in their life. And that's the point of this is I'm doing this to help serve others. So to know that there's impact there and that people are getting so much value in it is all that matters. So a little bit about my Design Your Happiness podcast with my episodes. So I have shorter episodes that are called pep talks. Okay, so that's a quick, shorter episodes that give you that quick inspiration to just like help you transform your day or whatever you're feeling, to know that, hey, you're not alone. Marilee's talking to me. She's going to help me like get in such a great mood. So that's what my pep talks are for. And then I also have longer episodes, because some episodes and some topics, you need to talk to someone a lot longer, so that, there's just more information and more knowledge. So those are my longer episodes. And and then I have interviews with different people, different industries all over. And that way, again, so that way you can get to know about different industries. You can get to know how other people are finding happiness in their lives, what they're doing, what their why is, and have that platform, again, of free knowledge, because there's just so many things that we can learn. And so my podcast is trying to just bring all of that to you. And so for those of you that want to start a podcast, this is just my advice for you when you're starting. When you figure out what type of podcasts you want, figure out which genre, because there's so many different types of podcasts. And so just figure out which style you want, what your why is, what your focus will be, who is your target audience going to be, and how are you going to serve them, how consistent you're going to be with your posting, and what the future of your podcast looks like. I'm talking about the future because, some people are creating things right now, during the pandemic, but are they only doing it right now? Or is this something that you're planning to do for your future? So for my podcast, I'm planning to do this forever, however long I have. So just kind of figure that out if you're going to start a podcast. So to help you, my focus for my podcast is self-help, growth, knowledge. And so that's my focus. That's my category. My target audience that I'm trying to serve, I'm trying to reach out to everybody. Everybody needs inspiration. Everybody needs help with happiness and getting back into a positive mindset and just knowing that they're not alone. And for anyone that wants to learn new things, consistency, I post one new episode every week. And so that way people know that, okay, Marilee's going to post something this week, so they can always rely on that, because that's key for podcasting. How did I get started? So how I got started was when I figured out, hey, I want to do this. I had told my husband I want to start this podcast. He was like, wow, that's amazing. You have to do this. You were meant for this. So he bought me a Blue Yeti microphone that came with a headset. And then I researched different articles to find out which platforms had free. They offered like free ways of hosting my podcast. So I use Anchor, and they distribute your podcast to so many different places. So I'm on Spotify because of them. I'm on Amazon Music. I'm on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and all these other audio platforms. Those are the ones I just mentioned are the 4 most popular ones that people listen to with podcasts. So that's why I recommend, do your research, choose a really good platform, but I highly recommend Anchor. They're great. You can record and edit your episodes on there, or you can utilize iMovie if you need to have a specific software. But yeah, so that's what I utilize to help me with mine. And then when I do interviews, if I can't do interviews at my home office here in San Diego with people, I utilize Zoom. That way I can, do an interview with anyone anywhere in the world, and just kind of pay attention to the time differences. And so if anyone wants to start a podcast, or if you want to be a guest on my show, that way we can promote you, we can promote your business, we can get to know you. You can message me. My Instagram is Design Your Happiness. My email is designyourhappinesspodcast@gmail.com. And I'm going to be launching a YouTube channel for my podcast very soon. So I'll let you know that too. But I just want to thank Kathy so much for letting me be a part of this, because happiness is so important. And it's also good to know that we can control it, but to know that you can go through what you need to go through, but you can have the life of your dreams. You can design your happiness. And I'm just going to end with this quote. If you want to be happy, you have to be happy on purpose. When you wake up, you can't just wait to see what kind of day you will have. You have to decide what kind of day you will have. And that's by Joel Osteen. And so I have different, positive quotes on my business Instagram account and things like that on my podcast. So I hope you'll listen, and any way I can help you, just reach out to me. But thank you so much, Kathy. I'm so happy to be a part of this, and all of the other speakers have been so amazing. And I just have a beautiful day, everyone. Thank you so much, Kathy.
Marilee, you are amazing. Talk about flow. I think with everything right now, I love how everyone's stepping up to the plate, flowing with this event. And it's so beautiful that you shared your love for podcasting and sharing what you do, why you do it. And it's true. You can't expect others to bring happiness to you. You have to cultivate that within yourself. So thank you, Marilyn. I appreciate you, our friendship, and I love you.
I love
So
you.
guys,
Thank you so much, Kathy.
it's like a hug. So talk about the beautiful things about social media. Next up, we have the amazing Sydney. And I had met Sydney on social media, on Instagram specifically. And tell you about the beauty about social media, we reached out, we had a one-to-one. I said, you know what? We need you for She Work Go See. Beautiful flyer with the keynote speakers. And that's the beauty about entrepreneurs helping entrepreneurs. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Sydney. Thank you.
Hey everyone, can you see and hear me? I hope. Awesome. Okay, well, first of all, thank you. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Kathy, so much. I love the introduction, and I'm so glad that we found each other on social media. But my name is Sydney, and I am the CEO of Savvy LLC. We are a network and community of business resources for female entrepreneurs. And I am just so passionate about leadership development. I'm a 9 wing 8 on the Enneagram. I don't know if we have other Enneagram fans out here, but I am constantly finding the balance between my peacekeeper side and being an assertive leader. It's a daily challenge, but I'm really stepping into it, and it has been so much fun. So some of the ways that I serve my audience are by hosting a free monthly book club for all things leadership and personal development. I've recently launched a one-on-one business coaching program for women that are ready to take their side hustle to the next level and really embody that full CEO mindset. And I also publish a weekly blog feature to spotlight other women in business. So at the end, I am definitely going to drop the link. If you would like to be featured on the blog, I would love to have you. But a little bit about me. I own a tax firm here in Kansas, so it's so cool to see where everyone's from, because the Midwest, everyone thinks it's kind of boring, so I love that there are people all over the place. And I have 2 rescue pit bulls, but I have been in the online coaching for almost 3 years, and I have helped dozens of women in almost every aspect of business that you can think of, from mindset to web design, course creation, networking, you name it, I've done it. And I know that most entrepreneurs starting out have to supplement their income with a day job. I currently work in HR, but I am so excited to say that I will be ditching corporate at the end of the year. And so I'm curious, like, how many of us here are entrepreneurs or aspiring to be? If you guys just want to drop it in the chat, I would love to kind of get like a poll of who we got here. I'm assuming just from the speakers that we've had that we have several entrepreneurs here. Yes, I love it. Hey, Melanie. Okay, so that is awesome. I was going to go over like the fundamental elements of being a powerful entrepreneur. And then I have a little gift for you at the end. But since we're kind of on a different timeline, I'm sort of just going to go through it quickly. The first thing to show up powerfully is to just really know what your definition of success is. It doesn't always have to be a fancy lifestyle or a large paycheck. For some of us, it just means more time with your family, or feeling secure in yourself, or being recognized for being an impactful leader in your industry. And so when we have a clear vision of our own success, we can create a detailed plan to get us from point A to point B. So that's always number 1 on my list. And then just to really own where you're at and what experiences you've had that have gotten you to where you are. Like, we all have something to offer no matter where you're at in your journey, but we have to show up and own it, because if we're not showing up with confidence, then our ideal clients or customers, they're going to sense that and they're not going to trust us to do business with us. So even in a saturated market, you can break through the noise and stand out with your own unique personality. And then, the next one is to set boundaries. This is so huge. I feel like sometimes for beginner entrepreneurs, they're just like eager to grasp whatever opportunities they can. And sometimes they get burnt out quickly. So it's so important to set boundaries in your life and your business. And it helps you stay focused and cut out things that are not serving you. And then one of the next steps is to always be open to feedback. No matter what our vision is, it's our clients, our customers, our employees that really matter. And we have to be willing to hear what they want and need so that we know that we're properly serving them. And then the biggest thing on my checklist to be a powerful, capable entrepreneur is to invest in a mentor, to surround yourself with people that have done what you want to do, that have reached that level of success that you're trying to obtain. And so I'm curious if anyone here has ever worked with a coach, or specifically a business coach. If you just want to drop it in the chat, I would love to see it. But why that's so important is because every successful business owner, like I said, they're surrounding themselves with a support system that is genuinely going to get you to that level of success. Because at the end of the day, for a coach, your success is our success. And we want to see you win. We're not going to just be a yes man telling you that all your ideas are amazing, because we know what works and what doesn't, because we've been there. And one thing I've really learned is that when you make a financial investment in your own development, you show up for it. When we work hard for our money, and when we invest that money in something, we're going to work to get it back. And so I just think coaching is such a great example of how to get honest, constructive feedback and how to really excel your business in such a faster timeline. Honestly, I hid behind like busy work in my business for years, and then 4 weeks into working with a coach, I was signing high ticket clients before I was ever even promoting a product. So there's just such evidence that coaching works. And I wanted to just leave you guys with this. If you're lacking support or clarity in your business, I would love to offer you 50% off on my one-on-one business program just for being a part of this event. I was so excited that Kathy invited me here that I was like, I'm going to bring them a treat. If you'd like to hear more about it, I am open to answering questions on Instagram. But if you sign up to schedule a discovery call within the next 24 hours, I will honor that 50% off on the program, and I would love to teach you guys more about it. So I hope that was quick. I hope I stayed in the timeline, but Kathy, I'm so grateful for this opportunity, and this has just been such a great event to be a part of.
Sydney, you are amazing. Thank you so much for being here today. Guys, she's in Kansas, the Midwest. So talk about the beauty of social media. Thank you. I honor you and I appreciate your time. That was amazing. I did a one-to-one with her, everyone. Take her up on that. She is a wealth of knowledge. Knowledge is power, and I appreciate our friendship. Thanks, Sydney. Okay, guys, I know we are approaching the 6-minute mark. We do have about 3 more amazing people to just share and pour into you. So if you have the time, great. If not, no worries. I will ask them to do a short video so we could email you directly. We want to make sure you have that information. Right now, we have the one, the only amazing Ashley Cole. We know each other from the Brea Chamber. She is beautiful, smart, and lovely. And it's all about finance. Take it away, my friend.
Yes. Oh my gosh.